and I like to see questions. Sometimes I get questions from there too for questions of the day. I'll get questions from there. I go, I like this question. I don't know why some of these questions are pretty unique that I like getting, that I find on Reddit. Like I think one was pretty good that I liked. This one was pretty interesting, and I think you guys will like it. I like this one by this person that they did. Pretty good. They mention is pixel art too hard for solo game development? I think they were talking about how pixel art takes a long time to make, and you have to be really good at it. You can make like your simple generic pixel art, but the animations and the framing and doing all that, it takes time. It takes a long time to create, and I have to agree. I think in some aspect it does take a long time. He did mention a couple things where he relayed onto this YouTube, right? And he also is worse. If you have zero experience with pixel art, it's much harder. I think it's really hard to do if you don't have pixel art experience. For me, what helped was just getting like learning from someone else, like from other people that are much better than I am. I think that's how I learned pixel art, like from YouTube stuff, and I got better with the years that came with it. But when it comes to like making your own asset, it takes a long time. Even if it's not pixel art, I think if it were low poly art or cube art or whatever it may be, it takes a long time, right? You see me doing my models and all that, it takes a long time. You animate it, and then you have to learn how to do the armatures. That's a long process. I've seen a bunch of stuff where people do the pixel art, and sometimes just for saving time, I'll use somebody to help me out with pixel art. That does help a little bit, but I guess it's expense, right? It's a lot of expense, so that's the only thing. And I did watch this YouTube too that he provided. It's kind of interesting, and here's the YouTube. It's actually pretty good. I liked the YouTube that he provided. Why I'm dropping pixel art, artistic style for indie game development. And I think there was like alternatives he mentioned, the bad. I think he talked the same thing, like you have to do a bunch of frames, like these amount of frames, tons of frames to get the animation going. And I didn't know. I didn't think it was taking so long for you to do pixel art. But I guess it would be the same thing if you do low poly too, right? It'll be the same process. It takes a while to create all that. And he mentioned alternatives like Paper Mario, that sort of thing, PlayStation, low poly, and then Crash Bandicoot, which is good too. I think those kind of arts still, but they take time. They take too long to do that, all that sort of thing. And I think he mentioned something about a cool, interesting game I didn't know about. This game, The Secrets of Grindia. I never heard of this game, but apparently 13 years it took to make a pixel art game. 13 years. And it doesn't look that impressive when I looked at it. Let me see. Secrets of Grindia. Whoop, let me move this here. It didn't look that impressive when I googled it. Let me see. Here it is. 13 years. And I think it made like, I don't know, like 200,000 or somewhere in there. They were saying like the pixel art is decent. It's not like, wow, that's cool pixel art. It's not like really good pixel art. It's like okay pixel art, right? I can probably do this. Like the tree, maybe it might take me some time. The bushes, not too difficult. Grass, that's easy. The characters aren't so hard to make. I think what maybe took so long to make maybe was the whole combat and everything. That's why I never finished my tactics game. Each character needed a bunch of animations. It took me 2 weeks to make one character. Wow. No, it takes a long time, right? It takes a very long time to just get the animation, the sprites going, and even aligning it to the point where you like it. It looks, smooth and it matches well. Yuck. It took me 6 years to make a character with no animation. Yeah, it's hard making your assets. I can see why game developers often just say, you know what, screw it, I'm buying my own asset. But the other caveat to that, of course, is if you do that, then they will just call you, oh, you're just like an asset flipper, right? I think it's a good combination to use. That's why I always say use like a good Like buy assets, but don't overbuy assets. But also use some sort of assets by made by artists, right? You can always pay someone to make the asset for you. It could be Pixar, it could be low poly, whatever you want to do. You can do that. Or if not, you can be like me, be crazy and just learn the process. But that's gonna take you forever. But I think it's more of on trying to align it to that is a good point. Yeah, it's kind of okay. It's not that super impressive, but yeah, imagine 13 years to make this game. Damn, that's a long time. I never heard of this game, Secret of Grindia. I think that the best alternative would be to use Fiverr and pay someone on Fiverr. Say, hey, I'll pay you, whatever, $30 or $100 for you to make me this sprite map, and that's a little bit easier. But obviously, you need the $100, right? For meantime, you can do like the character abilizations, kind of like do the mechanics, and you can test it out with that. I did buy assets, but I still needed more that was in the pack. That was the thing about using assets. They rarely contain everything you need. True. Sometimes you gotta use it in a way that you can reuse it, or like someone can redo it. So say if you do buy an asset that's like a certain art style, right? And that's why I told you guys it's good to use the same sort of art style. So for example, like if you use this sprite asset, sprites with black outline, for example, like if you use like certain like, see how this one has the black outline and this one doesn't? It looks really odd if you mix the two, like arts. So you want to keep like the same sort of art style. If it has a black outline, you kind of have to use it the same for the other ones. And I think that's where a Fiverr artist would come in, or like someone that's just experienced, or you can do it. Can't see? Oh, my bad. That's right. My face is on the way. Yeah, my fat face is on the way. I forgot. Right here. How's that? You see how like this one has the little black outline, and then this one doesn't? This one's better, of course, way better, right? This would be more of the advanced like artist, and then this would be like more mediocre, like mid art, right? If you try to like mix it two, it looks weird. Say you have a bird and it has this kind of like pixel art right here, and then you try to make another bird and it has just only the black outlines. It looks kind of off. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but players sometimes complain about the arts and animation. So I would say stick with an asset that you can replicate to yourself, and or you can hire somebody to do it for you, or you have a friend that's an artist. That's even better. So if you get a buddy that's like, hey, you want to make a game? It's gonna be cool. You can do all the art, and I'll do or I'll help you with the art too, and you can do the animation. Sometimes it works out. Sometimes people, say I can't do it, or life gets in the way. That happens too. Kickstarter helps too, but like I said, Kickstarter you need good marketing for it. It's a pain. Yeah, like it takes a long time to make. Now that I'm much better at using PixArt and 3D modeling, I can say that I think there's times like I wish I would have hired somebody or had maybe somebody buy the assets for me. Because if not, it takes me a long time to make some of this stuff. I can always make like quick demos, which is probably good. You can always make like the quick demos that you can put in, and you're done. Right? See if maybe like somebody likes it, and if you have a friend that plays it a lot, says, "Cool, I don't like the art too much, but this game is really fun, like hours." Then you get a good game, a banger of a game. Then you can just use that money, get a Kickstarter going, and then use that money for getting better arts. Like for me, for example, if my zombie game does well, then yeah, I will definitely get a Kickstarter, and I'll have somebody do the low poly art, because I'm not that good at low poly. I'm okay at the 3D building. I would say I'm an advanced beginner, but there's some people that can do way better things than I can. So I'm trying to practice it. I'm trying to get better, but at the same time, I want to get to the point where I'm not a specialist, but I can do normal things like tables or characters or rigging, that sort of thing. So yeah, that would say the end goal for that, for getting better at pixel art. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. But it's hard. Like doing your own art, it's hard. I know